hae le Caroline ya maemong a pele sentse se hlile se pulea ho feta mo emetsweng teng yena Shane Bosman o hlile o hana o monyolloa empa he re tla mo emela re be re bone hore ho ntse o hlaya yena mo Afrika Borwa o lwanela naha ya Afrika Borwa o fufisa flaga ya Afrika Borwa ke a tseba hore ha nako e se le ena ba bangata ba se ba bina leeto lena le tla fela neng ke kene Sahara e seng kanana re tla bona hore bena le tla fela neng mme le tla fela jwang mahlohle a shebile jwalona ho Carol. Thank you so much, Arnold.
Thanks, Dikeledi, and it looks like it was a planned or structured walk there for Caroline Visman up Cowies, and of course she does tend to walk some of the uphills. It's better to walk before you need to walk, Helen, and she's back running.
Yeah, we were discussing earlier how last year, she sort of captivated the nation by sort of taking these very structured walks, and we'd watch other runners pass her and she'd pick up and she stopped and she'd eat potatoes. She would do all sorts of things. She has not done that this year. This is the first walk we've seen her take, so we're all kind of like, uh-oh, is this like a real problem, or is it just one of her sort of tactics that she's sort of waited to keep in her back pocket and share with us? But she's going to crest Cowies, and a lot of people, big support here, and just over 17 kilometers to go until she gets to the finish, and she's got quite a buffer, so she can take a couple more walks.
Yeah, I think maybe this was the walk just up Cowies as she takes another drink there again and walks again. And Bruce, we haven't seen her walk twice in succession this close to each other, but she is smiling and looks quite happy, so maybe this is a little bit of a last rest before that push all the way home from Cowies. And like Helen said, she's got a buffer. She's got more than 7 minutes on Shane Bosman, so she can afford the luxury of just enjoying this moment. And maybe a little walk.
They're very, very short walks, and she's trying to get a proper drink swallowed while she's taking that short walk. And yeah, if it had been a year ago, I'd have had a heart attack, but now we're used to her style. That's her style, and she's proved she's proved herself right. That's the way she does it. Little short walk, get a proper drink swallowed, and then keep going, and she's back onto her normal pace.
Well, now we just need to wait for the toilet break, as she is one to do towards the end of the race as well. But we know that the run-walk strategy works for your average Comrades runner. We just haven't seen any other winner actually employ it like she does.
Well, if anybody is sitting out there and can get down to the finish at Sahara Stadium, we are watching history. We've got maybe 16 minutes until the first man can cross the finish line, and we're looking at an estimated 5 hours and 16 minutes. That's a good 4 minutes under the current best time for the down run. So I encourage anybody who can to come and watch this history being made.
Then it looks soft when it's...
Well, this is the view that Alec Riddle has, our eye in the sky, our Bonitas eye in the sky. Alec, you've got some information for us.
Right, so we're back at live here, eye in the sky, and Khatebi's gone under tollgate now. He's got the downhill run to the finish, and I think it'll be interesting to know what the people in the studio are thinking, but I'm wondering if there's a possible record on here, because we know it's a phenomenal record held by Leonard Shetsov. Only 2 people have gone faster than 2 hours 40 in the second half of the race, and I think Khatebi's going to do that as well. The 2 others who did it was Fordyce a few times and Shetsov once, and these were on the down run. Of course, Kotov did it on the up run. Now, there's a lot of money at stake here today. 400,000 Rand for the winner, but if you're a South African, that's another 100, so that's 500, and then another 190 for the first South African. That's 690, but I'm wondering if there's not a possibility of a record on here. If this man doesn't slow down at the pace he's running, he's going to knock on that door. David Khatebi is running the race of his life, and potentially the race of the Comrades Marathon. This is a phenomenal showing by an inexperienced athlete who hasn't won anything really of note in longer than the shorter distance, or 52, 56, he's done well, but the 90 kilometers he's not proven himself. But today, John Hamlet has got him in phenomenal shape, running for the Tom Tom Club, and David Khatebi is looking to see if he can knock on that 520 door, or how low in the 520s he can get. Love to hear the views of the guys in the studio.
Yes, certainly, Alec, and a record might very well be on here. David Khatebe moving, but if you look at that graphic on your screen currently, you'll see those little flags. At the moment, we've got a South African 1, 2, and 3, which is phenomenal, Bruce.
Okay, and so now David is running down what we call the concrete canyon, and that's between these long, tall concrete walls on either side. It was very hot in there. Every time you go under a bridge, you hear the crowd screaming down at you and cheering, but it is downhill all the way. There's a slight bump onto the flyover into town, but he has got the last of the big hills behind him. And I don't think we're speculating about whether or not there will be a record. There will be a record. Unless he walks at this stage, there's a new record. And I, for one, am completely astonished, because I thought that Leonid Shvetsov 5 hours, 20 minutes would stand for 20 years. And I think we're watching history here as we watch him break that record.
Well, we certainly are. And to take you through to watch this history, Bruce Fordyce is going absolutely nowhere. I'm going somewhere as Dwayne DeLocca takes my seat again. But Helen, maybe some final words here from you on David Khatebe at the moment?
Well, I think he's running a phenomenal race, but I think it's also an interesting little competition behind. We've got to set the next second and third person have also passed Sherwood, so they're also 8Ks to go, and both are previous winners of this down run. They've the last winner of the down run, Bongamuso Mtembo, has moved up into third place and also running a fantastic time. He's predicted to run 5:23. Then in front of him is by about 3 minutes is Ludwig Mamabola, on schedule to run a 5:20. So 3 phenomenal performances. 2 previous winners. They've both sort of come first and second behind each other before, and now coming second and third in Comrades. So an unbelievable day of racing.
Well, Ludwig Mamabolo at the moment is showing he's still looking strong enough, but I think this just gives you an indication of just how good Khatebe is looking at the front, Bruce, because Ludwig Mamabolo is looking very comfortable, and on any other day this would be the type of run that wins the race.
That's the Ludwig we know. He loves the crowd, he loves to smile and wave with them. He's very happy with his second place. He's going to shatter 5.5 hours, and it will be amazing to see how many people break the 5.5 hour barrier. For many, many years, it was an extremely special barrier. And I have to tell you, when I started running back in the 1970s, if you broke 6 hours, you could talk about winning this race. And we're looking at runners now 25, 30 minutes faster than that time. It's just phenomenal.
Well,
35 minutes faster.
We mentioned that 1989 run as well. Frith van der Merwe, of course, became the first woman to break the 6 hour barrier. Just a remarkable run. But David Khatebe continuing to lead this Comrades Marathon 2016. He's edging ever closer to Sahara Stadium, Kingsmead, the finish line of the 2016 Comrades Marathon, at just over the 89-kilometer mark. And final few hundred meters will be on grass, Bruce, and after you've been pounding the asphalt for so long, how significant is the difference between the surfaces?
It's a huge difference, but I have to be honest with you, the grass tugs at your ankles, actually slows you down. The only thing that's nice about it, at least it's grass. Well, look at this. I mean, he's loving it out in front. He's loving it, and this is the part of leading Comrades that is so fantastic. Totally in control of his running, no cramps. Looks absolutely at ease and just flying along. I mean, this would be a fast standard marathon if we were watching him running a 42k race.
Well, that really is just phenomenal. Just an amazing cadence, the way he's been able to maintain this stride throughout. There was a time just around about 45th cutting where he started to show a few signs of fatigue perhaps in the legs, but there's absolutely no sign of it now. But you can look at the second place rider, Ludwig Mamabolo. He's a fan favorite, and he's somebody who enjoys acknowledging the crowd. That lead, however, has extended now to 3 and a bit minutes, but Khatebe continuing to push forward. But Ludwig Mamabolo is enjoying his time near the front of this Comrades Marathon race once again. 3 minutes 50, I believe, the gap has got now between David Khatebe, who you know, when you saw his splits leading up to Pinetown, was going at around 3:17. He's still going sub 3:30, and in the closing stages he's still on for a very fast race on 5:16 pace. But in terms of Can I just welcome Channel 404 viewers who've joined us here on SABC Sport on 2 for this phenomenal race, which is turning out to be a record-setting race, and indeed is well set to be a record for the man in front, who is on the left of your screen, David Radebe. He's on for a 5:16 race here, so not too far out of Sahara State in Kingsmead. Ludwig Mamabolo desperately trying to catch up, but I think too much in too short a time to make up.
Well, Dwayne, you know, Ludwig's run itself would be absolutely amazing if he was on his own in the lead. But he's nearly 4 minutes behind the leader. So his run alone would have been an amazing race and probably a record-breaking race. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes. But I'd love it if David Radebe would just show he was human by slowing down a tiny bit, but it doesn't look like he's going to do that. There's a slight bump here up the flyover. He's gone past 3 kilometers to go. So he has less than 3 kilometers to go, and he's going to run into town. Thousands of spectators cheering and screaming him on, straight down through the middle of Durban for about 1 kilometer, and then a left turn. And as you take that left turn, it is exactly 1,000 meters to the finish line.
Well, he's approaching the finish at the moment, is this man David Radebe, but we caught up with him shortly before the race.
2013 Two Oceans champion David Radebe standing in front of me. What's the difference between running the perfect Two Oceans and running the perfect Comrades?
Two Ocean is very simple for me because it's 56. The Comrade is a long way, but I running 3 times. This is 4 times, but I learning something for Comrade. So long distance, you must be fit mentally, and the legs we must be fit. If we fit legs mentally is not fit, we can't finish the Comrade.
David, what are the biggest things that you guys have worked on as a team, that you've worked on individually to be ready for Sunday?
So Sunday I will be ready because I know about my story for training sessions. It will be well, and I'm just 2 months preparation. I'm feeling it's good for me for running for Comrade Marathon. I believe I can win it on Sunday.
Well, David Radebe continues to lead the way, and just words from the 2013 Two Oceans winner. But of course, he caught the field napping in 2013 when he won the Two Oceans. But it was a particularly windy day in Cape Town. Conditions are far more pleasant in terms of weather. But he's certainly caught the field napping again, hasn't he?
Exactly that. But I think what he did, I think he set himself a very wonderful target, which he could be able to really, do. Hamse oita ngandalene yomswala aneba awakatebe olokitima mbambe hey no penzia ugadira bowina kamse Comrades uwina mbambe ini abaya Two Oceans jine ngakhaye uwasubeza ngangori namse achikoda khay mbambe achis de osor hey mbambe ndikrono shika ngape ndingazora korukushi aba chipinga choto zori muna muwa achikojana khay mbambe uwa aine mune achikolwana ene mune naona target zine aziveya phanda kana zine aziri hezwi ndizone mbechelo zanga ufona uzita ngandalene babodi. I think he is still looking very strong if you can look right now.
Oh, he's looking superb. He's looking superb, and at the moment, I dare say he's on for a 5:15. With 2 kilometers to go, he was at just under 5:10, and that record of Leonard Schwedstoff's is as good as gone. I mean, it's going to be broken by 4 or 5 minutes here today if Radebe could just he could walk to the finish line and still put the record from where he is.
And we've just been told that we may have 5 or 6 runners who could go under 5:30 today.
Well, indeed, Fokoroni, Tembu, they're all making up some serious time. Fokoroni's still in the bunch, just off around about the top 5 mark. Bongmusum Tembu's up to 3rd, 2nd place. Mamabolo still looking very comfortable, and that's something we've pointed out, is the fact that Mamabolo's run on any other day would be a winning run in the Comrades Marathon. But this is just phenomenal. To take a few seconds off a record over this distance is fairly phenomenal, but he's going to shatter it. He's going to take several minutes off this record. I'm virtually speechless, which is a rather precarious position to be in when you're a commentator.
No, true that, because I think even the press conference, I think it played a very wonderful role wherein these guys have been trying to beat each other and throw words onto each other, exactly that which really worked to them. That's why when you see at Mamabolo, he's trying to really pace closer to him, but he can't, because I think the way how he set his targets is really, wonderful. We're talking about, the man who's on the lead right now, David Katebe. The munane uyengane ndobono ngarindie munane na himba bena wa yoba imba ya butebukoma kandela ineba ya butebukoma nga ori dile ya kutama ngayo o gidi bangandela ineba ya butebukoma hatwa hana mtsiko na mtio ushikashi.
So really approaching the stadium now is the leading man, David Hadebe. He's into the last little bit of this 2016 Comrades Marathon, and Leonard Svetsov's record is going to go, almost certainly. It is just well, his coach said it. I mean, there couldn't be a nicer guy who goes on to win this race, but a man who trains in Rustenburg. And I remember he joked just after winning the Two Oceans Marathon that all he eats is pap and chicken, and that's his protein diet, that's the nutritional diet that he's on. But he did say that he goes towards scrambled eggs and peanut butter in the days leading up to the race, but he might have been on something else, whatever it is. He's eating some superfoods at the moment to get this sort of race. So that was approaching the finish line. This is where he is in comparison, not far away. And 5:13, 16, 17, 18 on the clock. 5:20.49 is the record, and he is within striking distance of not only the record but his very first Comrades Marathon title in what would be the most astonishing, remarkable, exceptional run that we've ever seen in a Comrades Marathon.
Okay, he has about 1,000 meters to run now, I think, and he's flying, as we said. Down below us, we're in the studios over the finish line. Down below us, they're preparing for the winner. The finish line is up, the television camera's up, and a unique feature this year is he's going to be given a mace or a staff that Hermes would carry, because of course the emblem for the Comrades Marathon is the winged messenger Hermes, and he's going to be given that to hold up. I hope he has the strength to do that, but he looks like he does. There will be somebody at the entrance of Kingsmead Cricket Stadium waiting with the baton, and in that baton is a message from the mayor of the one city, Pietermaritzburg, to the other city, Durban, and he will be given that baton to carry around the last lap. And I can tell you from personal experience that that baton is one of the most magical things you can carry. It is like, here we go, he's swinging left, and I think it's 1,000 meters from there.
Ndi Jean Gamanda rikola mswana David Katebe uzozino rikwaba kachona chipinga utsini na utovuna record ya mswana Leonid Svetsov aneva ngekasha kwa Russia munawe aba oyiveya ka 5:20.49 pezi bala basazino achikoro jena tsina stadium enoka digidima ka 5 hours 14 zota mazoro zozino udwa kwa jena stadium kamisa nifanga 17 kamo 18 pezi zakuma ndizoro rekotenda zoro idopeza record ichikora no fundiwa. But Dwayne, when you look at him, he has been the main man since he took the lead. He has never looked back.
Well, he's just been remarkable in the way he's approached this race, because he took the first 15 or 16 kilometers very slowly by his pace. He was 3:43. Since then, he's just dropped his speed throughout this race, right the way down to approaching Pinetown. He was going at 3:17, 3 minutes 17 seconds per kilometer in this race, which is not as fast as we've ever seen, but certainly his strides were looking phenomenal and looking so comfortable while doing so. I can tell you that Ludwig Mavavola is approaching the finish as well, but he's still a few minutes behind David Hadebe, who's got a final few minutes to go. His pace has slowed ever so slightly. He must have just lost a little bit in the last couple of kilometers, but still well on for this record pace, and it of course comes with rich reward for South African winners in particular, who go on to break the Comrades record.
And here he is in the last half a kilometer now, approaching the stadium. He'll be looking for the baton, the person holding the baton that will hand it to him. In his hand, that will be like a magic wand, and all the fatigue, all the tightness, not that he's showing very much, will drain away as he hits that last lap. And it is one of the truly remarkable feelings to have in life, to honor. It's a great honor to lead the Comrades Marathon field home, and David Hadebe is doing that. I'd just like to say, David, welcome to the Winners Club. He's a new member of the Winners Club, and welcome to that club, David. Made us very proud, and you've run unbelievably well. Spectacular running. I've got goosebumps. I'm jumping up and down in my seat because I wish I could be running alongside him, but I can never run that pace. And it's a fantastic moment. And here's the crowd waiting to welcome him into the stadium. The last 400 meters round Kingsmead.
Kezo musiwa bako mifululu na mihungo na posho zote ni zori hoi muswana koi uko donekeziwa